Hey guys, Yoshi Morimoto. Today is February 17th. It's going to be the 18th here pretty soon. So let's talk about firearm safety, okay? So we got four cardinal rules, okay? So always, the first one is always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction. Two, always keep your finger off the trigger until ready to shoot. Three, always keep your gun unloaded until ready to use and know what is laying behind the target. Okay, so today, this is my uh, M&P Shield 9mm. Okay, there's nothing in there. Now, mind you, everyone is safe and clear. Make sure you put your finger in there. It's good. Get that racked in there. Back in. All right, so this is the safety model gun right here, okay? So right here's the on-off safety, okay? And so, and you gotta understand too, is I got a little shorty in here, okay? Now normally I conceal carry, but right now this is my Serpa level 2 Blackhawk, okay? And then I also got two magazines right here. All right, they're both empty, and they're used for this purpose, okay? Now, on my day-to-day, okay, my gun will always be here or right here, okay? So it's the same thing, okay? You know, out it goes, okay? Turn that safety back on. All right. And then my magazines also are back behind my pocket because it's a little hard to get into my pockets, okay? So it's not a duty belt or anything like this, like, police officers and stuff like that, okay? So this is how it is. This is how I train, okay? So that being said, this is unloaded, okay? I have neighbors back there. I got neighbors over here and over here. I'm in my house, okay? But I'm showing you guys, uh, everything, okay? All right, so this being said, okay, should know how your holster operates, okay? Push button, out it comes, okay? Now, since I have a safety, okay, it's got to be muscle memory to get that on, okay? So did you hear that click? You see how my finger is? It is off the trigger, okay? Yep. And I got my arms like this. It's kind of hard. And so until it's ready to shoot, there it is. So, and some people, okay, depending on how they do it, okay, they get their hand like this, and then push out, okay? So whatever floats the boat, but you got to practice, okay? And then, like, if you get into a defensive situation, like someone's like, hey, here's the money, what, that, and then out it goes, So you just you gotta make sure that, you train for situations. All right, that being said, you discharge your firearm, okay? You're liable for that round, wherever it goes. All right? You pulling your gun out of the holster, okay? Safety off. Don't matter if you're on the guy or not. He better have a weapon in his hand because you're going to jail when you pull this out, okay? So there's laws against everything, okay? But the realistically is you want to get trained to get it out, okay? And then once you get it trained to get it out, then you gotta start training yourself to load this as quick as it can, or fashionably. You want to load it as fast as possible without messing up, okay? So if you need to take your time, okay? Until it becomes repetitious and muscle memory, okay? Now, this is how, when I was in the police academy, okay, this is how they trained you, okay? You went pow, 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 okay? Soon as the gun comes back into the jam fire, okay? They go like this, out, and push, and then back into the gunfight, okay? they keep it like that, so they got it in there, they rack it back, and out it goes, okay? They don't want you to risk your life. They want you to get, you know what I mean? They want you to do it in a safely, calmly manner, and make sure that your eyes, okay, are focused on what's going on, okay? Because when you go to, geez, Pete's, you have to wear the right clothing to if you do this like this. All right, so you gotta go like this, okay? And they drop the magazine, and now you got the eyes everywhere it needs to go, okay? And then pop it back and ready to go back to town, okay? Back to town, okay? So again, you run out back in town, okay? So, bang, 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 out, okay? That drops down to the ground, and grab the other one, okay? You're looking around while loading. You go like that and back in pushing, okay? Another thing is you got to communicate with your team members and stuff like that if you're out and about. But the thing is that you want to be alert to everything, okay? Your surroundings, okay? Because there's going to be a time that the guy's going to, he either sees that you're armed, and he's like, oh, this guy right here, he's my target. He comes up to you, puts the gun right in your face, okay? You got two options. Take your gun out and die, or give him what he wants and keep your hands up, okay? The guy goes, no funny business, give me your wallet, okay? Take your hand, back side, okay? You're going to reach in. You're going to grab your wallet, okay? Now, I'll keep mine on the left hand, okay? Now, if you think about it, okay, they're right-handed. If they're normally right-handed, all right? There's not many lefts out there, okay? So, if you got it in your left hand, you have to hand it to him, okay? And he's thinking, oh, I got to grab it with my left, okay? Here's another thing, too, okay? Hand it like this, okay? Then he's going to look. The gun's going to follow. Then he's going to grab it with his other hand, okay? Keep your right hand free, okay? This is your dominant hand. Last dominant hand. That's why I'm carrying my wallet in my left. I always do this, okay? My gun's all right here, okay? Wallet here. The guy looks down. And if you don't look down, just hand it to him, okay? There's nothing wrong. He's not going to kill you when you give him the wallet, okay? He will only kill you, okay? Or shoot at you or whatever if you go and reach for something, okay? That is why I said, okay? You want to go around the backside, okay? So there's no funny business. Keep your one hand up and hand it to him, okay? Now, just remember, this right here, when he gets his eyes onto this, he's not paying attention to this, okay? So if you have to, go like this, kind of like, make the whole wavy. And as soon as he takes it, you come up and you gotta get him right here, and you gotta go as hard as you can. And he'll go nighty-night. And if you don't, you need to get your gun out as fast as you can and make sure he goes down on the ground. Okay? When he's down on the ground, you kick the goddamn gun out of his hand, and you put this on and you say, freeze, fucker. Don't move, fucker. Do something, okay? But just remember, you cannot fire. He is unarmed at that point. Yeah, you put a gun in your face, but you cannot shoot him. Sad world, huh? Police will come. They'll book him. You get appraised. Good job. You handled yourself correctly. You get an attaboy, and they're gonna take your serial number. They're gonna ask you a bunch of questions, license, ID, and your side of the story, and articulate it. The guy came up to me, put a gun in my face, told me to get the wallet. I gave him my wallet, reach in with my left hand to my rear left side pocket, hand it to him, and when he looked and reached for it, and he moved his gun out of my way, I just let him have it with an uppercut and knocked the shit out of him. And at that point, I drew my gun, kicked away his, and told him, "Don't fucking move." Simple as that. Call 911, get someone to get 911 right away. All right? And you hold him. Now, if he gets up and moves, kick the shit out of him because that gun's still free. Understand? All right? You could even take a hold of his gun, put your gun back in holster, and hold him on his own gun. All right? So it don't matter, okay? The only thing that you have to prove at that point is that that was his gun and not yours. And it's going to be very simple. You have yours in the holster, okay? So just remember, sales techniques is load, okay? Sales technique is load, okay? So once you get that down mastered, okay, then you can carry extra things, okay? But you want to practice. You want to practice. You know what? And you didn't even hear that safety on because it was always on. Or, I'm sorry, it was always off. So it wouldn't have mattered, okay? Safety was off at that point. But I try to get in the habit of putting that safety on, so if it goes out, safety's now off, okay? Back in, safety in, put away. Safety off, out, put away, okay? There's no reason why you shoot yourself in the leg or foot because your safety was not on. It's happened a lot with 1911s. Seen a lot of 45s go through someone's foot or their side leg, okay? So, all right, so if you're going to conceal carry, sorry about my, okay? Now you got to realize that you have to lift, pull, and then you got to go back and forth. You have to reach. Now, as you've seen that, I pulled out both of my magazines, okay? It might not happen if it's loaded, but you never know, okay? You just don't know. Oh, there I am. So you got to practice. You got to practice with a coat on. You got to practice with a sweater on. You got to practice with everything else. You don't have a duty belt. If you go to the ISPs things or USPDAs or whatever they're called, the 3 gun contests or whatnot, they got an open carry. So all you do, you don't even press that. It's just an out thing. And then you got 3 magazines or 2 magazines or whatever. You got your chest plate that's got your AR. You got another rig right here for your shotgun. And you just load it or tip, load in, or tip up, back in. So it just depends on how you train. So like with an AR, I'm always sitting like this, and then when it goes to reload, my hand goes right here. I hit the safety or the mag release, and it's just like pop, and then back down or whatever, however it goes. Really hard to do, free-handed, but you get what I'm saying. I do now. Another thing too is I got a child at home, so my gun is always up high. I've been teaching them, guns aren't to be played with. I've taken out my magazine or my bullets out of my magazine. And I'll throw my magazines up there. I'll throw my gun up there. I'll take my magazine out, and I leave it on the counter or whatever, and he don't touch it. Okay? So teach him young while you can. Okay? My boy's 2, so he knows what a gun is. He doesn't touch it. He looks at it and he knows that Dad's got his gun out. So I'm not gonna go buy him. So that is one thing, okay? So just remember, you got those 4 cardinal rules, okay? Always keep your gun pointed in a safe direction. Keep your finger off the trigger until ready to shoot. Keep your gun unloaded until ready to use, which my gun's always loaded. Okay. Always loaded, besides for demonstrating purposes only. Safety on. And I do leave it in its holster, but normally you should have it locked. But I don't. It's my home defense rounds, and my home defense gun on top of a couple other guns. So realistically, you're having a bad day when this comes out because it goes through walls pretty good. My shotgun, I can shoot in here and I won't have to worry about going through walls as much. I do, and this is the crazy thing. All right, I got an 870 with eight rounds in the chamber and one in. Well, I said 8 rounds in the tube, one in the chamber, so 9 rounds. Okay, my first shot is just bird shot. Okay, I want to scatter as much down the hall as possible. And I don't care if I have to redo drywall, okay? And the next one is double odd buck, and then followed by another double odd buck. Then I got slugs. I think I got 4 slugs, and then I got PDX rounds? I think I got 2 of those, followed by bird shot one more time. I think that's 9. So yeah. Yeah, it's it's not, a fuck around moment. So when you're in my house, you hear a rack, get the fuck out, because it ain't gonna be pretty. And then followed by that, behind the door, is my AR. And I'm sorry about this, but it's bright. I have marks in my wall, okay, where I need to point it at for this front door right here, okay? And I can shoot through all this way to get to that door, that hallway, the front room, over here, what's behind the refrigerator. I mean, you're not safe in this house once that comes out. And yeah, it's 30 rounds coming. So I don't miss. So you just rather hear the shotgun rack and get the fuck out, because you hear that bolt drop, you're fucked because it's going through. And I hate doing it like that because I do have neighbors up front, okay? And I do have people that walk down this driveway or, well, sidewalk and whatnot. So, like, I really don't want to use my AR because I know it travels, okay? But for personal measures, that's more likely to do, like, the punch, the knockdown, the that shotgun's just a deter. And once I get hold of this, going towards outside to make sure the threat is no longer a threat, or with that AR, it's a game set match right there. That AR can launch. I'm good at 500 yards, so it's pretty far away. So even if you got in your car, it's cheese. So, but I always say it like this: Castle Law, always defend your base. Once they leave your threshold, it's fair game for whoever takes care of them, okay? But I'm going to stay inside, make sure my family's taken care of. So, I get them in a safe location, handle my business, walk back forth, make sure that there's no one outside waiting for anything to tag teamed again for another firefight. And then police should be here, and within 10-15 minutes, we've got stationed over there, got plenty of officers in here that can help me out. So always know where your officers are at. We got 4 or 5 police officers in here. They hear the gunfire. They're out looking. So we haven't had it that bad yet, but across the road a ways, that's fight central. So if it's over there, it could come in here. So I don't advertise or show anything that's good, and I just keep it to myself. But eventually it's going to happen. We've had people run through here before and try to break in people's houses or break in vehicles, and it just wasn't a good thing. So that being said, practice, 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 practice. They also make these snap rings too. I bought my dad snap rings to teach him, how to fire and not anticipate the fire and whatnot, and how to load and unload and whatnot, draw, and so he's pretty good. He hits bullseyes pretty accurate now, and he just went through my little basic training with him, and it was, point to match, and hey, I tell him all the stories I've had through law enforcement and some other things, and I'm like, hey, look, this is what to look for. This is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do. Just note that you're responsible for every round that's been fired. You need to know how many rounds you've been fired. So, like, if your magazine's only got 6 rounds in it, make sure all 6 are accounted for after a firefight. If you're empty and you're like, oh, I think I had 5, you need to know you had 6. Okay, so always inventory your magazines, switch bullets out, whatever, every year, so that you're ready to go in the fight. A lot of people go, well, why do you do that? Well, if you're like me and you carry every day, okay, these they get tarnished and water starts seeping in. I may make bullets and stuff like that. Okay, I make them. So realistically, that this one's a clean one. Okay, but you still get moisture and everything in there, and that's why my magazines are always down facing. Okay, but it doesn't help because my pistol's like this and you're getting water down through and whatnot. Okay, so realistically, every year I just throw these bullets out and buy new. I buy 45 rounds or whatnot every year. So yeah, so 50. Let's say I buy 50 rounds every year. I shoot 5 off, and and so I spend $60 every year for annual upkeep on my firearms. Well, my firearm. So every gun I have, if I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 magazines, they all have hollow points in them, and then every year I'll put like a sticker on my box or whatever, says this is when I put these in, and go from there. And then I just cycle them, or I'll fire them. Just $1.27 round, or $1.27 or $1.35 a round to shoot them. But you want to know that you have a reliable bullet, so that's why every year I just shoot them and get new. So last year was a little difficult, but this year we made exceptions. We found them. So yeah. So just remember, always maintain your gun. Make sure your guide ride and your firing pin are up to snuff, because you just never know. You go bang, you go thinking it's going to go bang, and it goes click, and then it puts an indent on your primer, but yet not enough to make it go bang. Oh, that's the worst feeling in the world, because then you rack it back and go like this again, go to shoot, and it does nothing. You're out of the fight, and you're gonna have to knuckle bust it. And you don't bring a knife to a gunfight, and you don't bring your hands to a gunfight either, unless it's like me to this camera. you know. So anyways, so just be safe. Think about what you do. You have to be always alert, focused. You gotta be methodical about every situation. What can happen, what can't happen, and stuff like that. And then go to trainings, because this is not a typical. This is not considered training. Okay, it's like a coaching method. Okay, just the 4 cardinal rules, showing you, hey, this is how you should, This is how you should probably load while you're looking around. Make sure you go back into the gunfight and stuff like that, you know. But, you know, this is not a toy. This is a tool, okay? This is a tool, okay? It should be the last line of defense, okay? Now, you have your escalation plan in place. You know, guys coming at you with a knife, you know. This right here, okay? This is meaty part, okay? If you have to block it, okay? You know, block it. But just remember, you got to get it to them. And I hate to say it like that, but or clobber them or whatnot. But that knife is like the dangerous thing. And I mean, that's why we got belts and stuff. But at the same time, you take your belt off, your gun goes flying or whatever, depending on what holster you wear. That's not going to do any good for you. So you might have to defend yourself, okay? And you might have to keep your hands open, okay, instead of clenched, okay? Because someone comes in with a knife, okay? You need to be able to block it and get in there with another hit, or, you know, so if he goes like this, you can hit it or grab their arm and twist it, send them down. I mean, just random things. I mean, but your gun is your last line of defense, okay? So just remember, safety first. Think clearly. Just remember, that other person, all right, even though they're trying to hurt or bodily harm you in any situation, okay, you got to think of this, okay? What made them get to that point of doing it to you? Does this person know you? You gotta think about this real quick, you know, all these things, okay? And then at the back of the head, you gotta remember, this person has a mom, a dad, probably a kid, wife, girlfriend, friends that really care for him, okay? And he's doing bad. So the best thing is talk it through, okay? De-escalate the situation, okay? You don't need to have a gun to de-escalate, okay? It might work, might deter, but it might draw him over the edge and thinking he's going to die, so I'm going to fight anyways. So just remember, okay? You don't need your gun out to do that, okay? But you just got to remember, you know, a person can lunge 10 feet within a second. So you have to be ready, okay? And I mean, I have trained where I fell backwards while drawing and firing at the same time, okay? I'm not doing it because I have a couch right behind me. But if I had to, it's happening, okay? Because that lunge, you know, when they go to lunge at you, the stab, okay? That's the most power that they're ever going to get, okay? And if they get you right here, it'll kill you, okay? So its best bet is just to fall back, draw, and fire, okay? They're going to fall on you no matter what, but at least it's not going to go knife down into his major organ, lungs or heart or, you know, in the eye or whatever, or neck. You know, you need to keep this side of your body, well, I should say your whole stomach and your chest. You need that to, you know, really live, okay? You can get sliced on your arm, okay? You can't get sliced on your wrist. You can't get sliced in between your elbow, and you can't take anything right here, okay? All right, you can do anything right here. It's gonna suck, okay? Nothing on the inside, because that's all your veins, okay? So when you're defending yourself, okay, you either keep your hands open with a knife, okay? And if you gotta take it, take it. Give them, okay? It's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt. But if you get that knife, and I mean, it's gonna hurt, okay? You're gonna feel it no matter what, okay? Knife stings, it hurts. Being shot is like a bee sting, okay? You're not out of a firefight until you notice you've been shot. So if you feel like you got stung by a bee, keep firing, because sooner or later your brain's gonna catch up to you, okay? And then you're gonna be out of the fight. No matter what, how hard you're trying to push, all right, your muscle memory, your fine motor skills are no longer in fact, okay? Your surroundings, you start, you know, you start doing this whole loopy thing of slow-mo, And so this guy is like giving it to you, man, just or shooting at you, and it's going slow, but it's really going fast. And it's too late. So you just, you know, knife, keep your hands up and blocking, okay? If you have to, bust them in the nose, hit them in the right here while going up as hard as you could, break their jaw. And also knock them out really quick. Get them on the ground, pop, pop, pop another couple times, get them disoriented, sit on him. You know, put your knees down into his arms, right here, or even on the neck. Even though that's not a way to do it, as you've seen George Floyd, they stepped on his neck. Okay, so realistically, you gotta get in right here. Okay, now if they got that knife still in their arms or their hands or whatever, get it out of there. Okay, and at that point, you're bleeding. Okay, he's bleeding. Okay, now you gotta think of HIV or AIDS or whatever they got. Okay, but no matter what, he's gotta be on the ground. You gotta get him there. Okay, and then you gotta wait for help. Now it's gonna suck because it's gonna hurt like fucking hell. And as long as you fight through it, and medical will be there for you, okay? It's gonna suck, and it sucks even more. But a couple stitches, a funny story to tell later on, like, hey, I survived, okay? But you don't want to you don't want to use this just because, okay? It is the last resort tool, okay? Now, you're like, why is it the last resort? And that's why. I don't want to take someone else's life because they're not in the right place, okay? I went through schooling. I've seen a lot of bad things in life. And they only got there because of other people, okay? They never met me, okay? They never met me, okay? I've had it rough, and I mean rough. Probably rougher than what they probably had it, okay? And I came out okay, but it was because of the people I had surrounded me, okay? My brother, he was a shitbag, all right? He stole, lied, cheated, stole. He was a dirtbag. Still is a dirtbag. You know, he don't even have a high school diploma or a GED. He is scum, okay? But realistically, how did he get there, okay? It's because of his friends, you know? He was a follower, not a leader, okay? I'm a leader. I have to be a leader, okay? My mom was a single parent after I was 10 years old, and I saw her struggle, okay? She went to school, she went to work. She went to school, she went to work. You know, she fed us, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I didn't see her most of the time, okay? But I learned how to take care of myself. I learned how to, talk with other people. I've had other influences that were an adult. You know, I get along with 50, 60-year-olds versus kids that are my age. Tell me how shitty that is. And that's because they're immature, okay? Because they're surrounded by immature people. Where I used that fundamentals when I was a little kid, that, hey, these guys have been there. They've seen things where I haven't. So I heard stories, I heard rumors, or I heard facts, or I heard blah, blah, blah. And I read about it, write about them, and write about it, and write about it, because, you know, they saw the world. They saw what the life of people were. You know, this guy was 100 years old. He would sit down, smoke unfiltered cigarette, and feed peanuts to the squirrels. And, you know, his thing was just like, you know what? Live life to the fullest. You know, and then he told me a story about the South America anaconda that was huge, that was eating villages. And he had to go down there when he was in the army and slice the head off. You know, he said that thing was huge. And then turn out they make an anaconda movie in '95 with Ice Cube and J-Lo. And that was real. That happened in like 1930s or 1940s or something like that. When they had to go to South America and kill this anaconda for them because they were just eating villages. Is that crazy? Like, it was huge. The head on that thing, It was like 2 people stacked up. And they severed that thing after, using everything. That thing was killing villages at night, like villages, like mouse gone. But people. So, I mean, that's just mind blowing. Like, and people in the military, they're immature people at times, okay? And but I learned from them because they train every day to survive, okay? And just like police officers, okay? I went to school to be a police officer. I've done this, I've done that. I went to the academy. I did this, I did that. Sworn in and whatnot, okay? And, you know, I learned how to survive the street, okay? And that's the crazy thing. And it was my own city that I didn't grow up in that city, but it was my city that I lived in. And you couldn't believe how fucked up it was, okay? It was like war. Every day going to the same house or the same neighborhood or whatnot over the same repetitive bullshit. It's like, grow up, fuckers. I'm tired of babysitting this neighborhood. But realistically, you got to. You gotta be a sheepdog to get it done. Hey, Wiley. Hey, Sam. Goddamn coyote's doing it again. Alright, I'm gonna have to take care of Wiley again. Oh, poor old Sam. Gonna have to do the dirty work for it. And at the end of the day, later, Sam. Later, coyote. Or Wiley or whatever. So, that is how it is. I don't trust people. It's hard to trust because of that reason. So, like, I keep my distance with people. When I'm with people, they're on my left side. My boy's always on my left side because I carry on my right. If I have to get him out of the way to get in there, I mean, he's protected because he's behind me now. I'm not gonna go out and get involved in certain situations. But if I see someone getting their ass beat, you're damn right I'm getting in to grab that person off them because you don't know what's going on. But at least this person's not getting more, fucked up as it need be. But like I said, I hate to get in that situation because then I go to jail for assaulting somebody, and all they have to do is gang up on me, say I fucking started it. So realistically, at that point, it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. So you have to look at what's going on. But if it's a man and a woman, and the man's beating on the woman, I might pull this out to put it behind his head just to realize that, hey, you're fucking messing up right now, buddy. And I've done that once. And I'll give you this story. All right, I lived in an apartment in Auburn. All right, Griswold. I lived on the very bottom floor. Person above me, okay? I mean, you hear him arguing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And she goes, oh, fuck it, I'm leaving. Slams the door. The guy gets out, pushes her down the flight of stairs, okay? Now, everything's heating up. Well, I can get out of my door and meet him right there, or go out my front door and get him at the very front of the entrance. And all I hear is bang, like, just, whatnot. And she's just bawling. She came down the flight of stairs because she tumbled. He come down there running, and as soon as he got down, he just bang. She hit her head, hit the glass, went through the glass, and at that point, I knew shit was off. And I hate getting into, like I said, I hate getting into those situations. But I went out my front patio and I drew my gun. I said, you motherfucker, just get on the fucking ground. You all right? Yeah, you need to get out of here. Put your hands up, sit on your knees. Get on your knees. Interlock your knees. Put your hands on the head. Interlock them. Like, don't fucking move. And I mean, she bleeding all over, and she gets in her ride. She's gone, and me and him are at point blank. Okay, she gets picked up by Auburn PD. Auburn PD comes here with state. I tell the state trooper, hey, look, this is what's going on. They were arguing. She must have left. All of a sudden, someone came down the stairs hard, and then all of a sudden I heard, you know, bang, and then went through the glass. So I left out through my front door, gun drawn, put the sucker on the thing, and told her get the fuck out. And I just told him get on his knees, cross his legs, interlock his hands, do not fucking move. Um, and then he went to jail probably for, I don't know, a couple days. She probably didn't press charges on that fucker. So he got out. He came back. She was all lovey-dovey on him for a little bit. And then, which, I don't know why she didn't fucking leave him. Must have had a cock or something. I don't know. And then a couple days later, happened again. Then he gets out to the car and she locked the doors. And he's beating on the windshield. And I think I have photos of that. And again, here I am going out through the front, drawing my gun again on this guy. And I was like, get the fuck out of here to that girl. And, you know, he's trying to get in the car, banging on the windows. And I just, like, looked at him. I said, all right, last time on the ground, or it's going. And he did what I said, and she got met again at Auburn, picked her up over there, figured out what the hell was going on, and then he was gone. They locked him up. The police officer pressed charges, told me good job, blah, blah, blah. Then it didn't stop there. Then new couple moved in, and it was just like a repeating cycle. But, you know, at that time, it was like, Jesus Christ. But then I got out of there. We went to this house. So, thankful for that. But again, you know, you have to help other people too. You know, you just can't help yourself or family. Okay? If you see something wrong going on, like if there's a robbery going on and whatnot, you know, you have all the duty to protect the shop owner, and you got your duty. Even if he wants to get, you know, the guy gets robbed or whatnot, and as long as he didn't fire or anything, he can leave. Just make a description of what he had and what vehicle he's in, and he'll probably get caught in a couple hours. Not a big deal. If he shot and or if he fired and shot at that the shop owner, you got dead rights. But you have to make sure he's not fleeing. Okay, so if he shot the shop owner, I mean, and you get your gun drawn and whatnot, and you drop him, good job. Render aid to the shop owner, not that douchebag that you just shot. There's two reasons why. Shop owner might be still alive. You probably killed him. Just stating the obvious, okay? So, that being said, you still have to make sure that that gun that guy has is out of his hands, okay? Or out of reach. So you need to pick that up, get over the counter to get to that guy, and then dial 911 because there's probably not another person that dialed 911, okay? So you got to get police there right away. Get an ambulance there right away. Say, hey, I got two people shot. I got one DOA probably, and the other one's the store clerk. He was shot from the guy that's on the floor right now that I dropped. And you just got to say it just like that. Hey, there's robbery in progress. The suspect shot the victim. He was store owner, and I shot the suspect, and he is down on the ground. I collected his pistol. I'm rendering aid to the shop owner, but I don't know how long he's going to live because we got tons of blood going. Stuff like that. And he's going to ask you more questions about what the situation is. Like, get an officer here. I need medics. You know, help kind of thing. But, you know, you got to make sure that this guy's got a living chance. Even if you got to take your shirt or hat off to cover up the wound and press down as hard as you can to stop the blood flow, it's going to be better. But realistically, you're alive. That guy need to be dead, and you just protect him, okay? That's the rule of the game, all right? but you have to collect the weapon that was discharged from him, because you don't want him to get back up and then shoot you in the back while providing aid to this guy. Okay, so make sure, and you can even do a pulse check on that guy. Normally they're going to have a weak pulse anyways after the shooting, and they have a pulse for like another 20 minutes. So realistically, he could be dead but have that vein in his neck pulsating because the fluid's flowing out. So that being said, so just remember that, okay? So yeah, anyways, that's about it. Sorry for keeping you for about almost an hour now. But good job. Thank you for watching. Follow. And if I'm saying something wrong, just let me know. Just don't blow me smoke over it, okay? There's different laws everywhere in every state, okay? I live in Indiana, lived in Michigan, okay? Michigan, I know the law backside of my hand, okay? Even like the mitten as it is, okay? Got the little peninsula thing right like that, or I don't know, like that, yeah. Okay. So, well, technically it's like this, but all right. So just like that. Okay. So just read, research, talk to a police officer, ask questions, talk to an attorney or a district attorney or a prosecutor or blah, blah, blah. And they'll tell you everything, ins and outs. Why you want to know this, though? Be ready for that question. It's going to happen. Don't carry a gun into the fire or in the police station, okay? But leave it in your car because they don't want that in there. All right? All right. So, anyways, it is now February 18th, Friday. It's past midnight. Thank you again for watching. Be safe. Just remember, as one officer to the other officer used to say, be safe. Get them first. Amen.